Dave, just as you enter the third season, your thought about what you want to take away from last year and kind of the theme of this year's spring training?
I think for us and just talking to guys, excited about the new year, trying to focus on it being a positive from last year and understand that there was, one game we lost in game seven, but there's a lot of good things to take away. And I think our guys have done a good job of turning the page and, really being excited about this year. And it's the same group. It's essentially the same group of guys that we got coming back. So there's going to be some competition, as there always is. There's depth, as there always is, and injuries that you can't really guard against or predict. But there's a focused group.
You had mentioned the competition. We just had a conversation with Matt Kemp, who has the right attitude, at least publicly, about being here. And he knows that he has something to prove. Where do you realistically see him fitting into this puzzle?
Well, I think that it's encouraging that he feels that he has something to prove because I think that, whether you're a Clayton Kershaw or Kenley Jansen or a Matt Kemp or a young player who hasn't done anything at this level, I think that there should always be something to prove and you want to compete. So I think that with the outfield depth that we have, I mean, there's a lot of good players out there that we got to kind of see how it shakes out. But all guys are going to get opportunities, and as our philosophy is whoever we feel is best to help us win that particular game is going to play. And so Matt came into camp in great shape, and I expect him to be productive.
He's an addition, you Darvish a subtraction. Now going over to the Cubs, in your early anticipation, who fills those innings?
Well, if you look at the roster, I think that over the last few years, there's been more starting pitching depth as far as established major league starting pitchers in a potential rotation. But you look at Clayton, Alex Wood, Rich Hill, Kent Maeda, and Hyunjin Ryu. And then outside that, you've got Urias coming back at some point. You've got Walker Bueller in the mix, and Stripling and Stewart. So there's guys going to be competing. But right now, I like our pitching.
How does this group feel as you enter your third year versus perhaps your first two groups?
I think it's a group that I think in baseball there's a lot more turnover, but I think that with this group, and I think a lot of it was with the hinged on the signings last winter, with Kenley and Rich, bringing those guys back, JT, and the continuity that we have in our clubhouse is pretty much the same group. And outside of Clayton and Kenley, who've been here, I think maybe the longest tenured Dodgers. But of recent years, these guys have been together for the most part and understand that we still haven't won a championship. So, like I said earlier, it's a focused group. And for me, it's more of just letting these guys be themselves.
One guy that has won a championship is Chase Utley, and the clubhouse staff is doing a horrendous job of keeping it secret because his cleats are in his locker, his gloves are in his locker. He doesn't have a nameplate, though. Is he coming?
Um, is that right? His cleats and lockers are. Is that all? Is that right?
Boxes that are addressed to him.
Boxes too. So he got his mail forwarded here. We're hopeful, and obviously there's things that got to. I mean, we're excited to hopefully get him here in Glendale. Chase is great, so I'll talk more about him maybe in the coming days.
It's not tampering technically if his stuff is in the room.
Is that right? Is that right? So I can.
You mentioned just like Urias at some point.
Right.
Do you have any more concrete idea of when he might be able to help you guys?
I think it's just so hard to predict because of when you're talking about rehab and a shoulder and any setback and try to put expectations on Julio or the organization. I think that doesn't really help. I know that we're expecting him at some point this season, and I know he's excited. He's in good shape. We're counting on him, really, and we're excited for him. He's worked real hard. So, but Andy, yeah, to put a timetable, I'm really hesitant, and I think Julio is as well.
We know that Matt Kemp can produce offensively.
Yeah.
Does he have to show you he can be a reasonable player in the outfield? Is that where you're looking at over the next however long?
Yeah, obviously Matt's always hit, and if you look at what he did last year in the batter's box, he was productive. And this is a team that had really, outside of Freddie, who got hurt, he didn't really have protection or guys getting on base in front of him. So he had a productive year offensively. But I think if you look at the metrics, which it's not everything, the defense has dropped off a little bit from being a Gold Glove caliber defender. So, like I said, Matt is up for any challenge, and so he came into camp in amazing shape. I mean, this is the Matt Kemp I remember when he was having that MVP type year with the Dodgers. How he looks. So I think the defense is a big part of what we do, and it's clear he understands that. So yeah, to perform defensively on both sides of the baseball is a certain expectation for us. Yes.